Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And right now, your dominant energy is this hermit, okay? I think you're somebody right now who feels, you feel a little bit maybe isolated or sequestered from the world. It could be this was an intentional thing that, we needed to sort of go hermit mode in order to make some progress on something. Maybe we've been sort of focusing on our spiritual work, our interior work, right? Maybe you've been sort of putting your head down for a different kind of project or some different kind of work. It could be the feeling right now that we've made a lot of choices to clean out our life a little bit, to get rid of things that we don't really need anymore. It's that kind of that spring cleaning time, or maybe we've eliminated a lot of extra stuff from our life that we really don't need. Maybe we have decluttered our lives. Yeah, I kind of feel like you're in that mode right now. We need some more context around this card, of course. But this card to me feels like you're trying to spend more intentional time in nature, in meditation, in prayer, in sort of trying to align yourself, trying to cultivate this feeling of oneness. So I feel like we don't want all the chaos of the world right now. I feel like you're kind of like you're turning off the radio. We're driving maybe in silence a little bit more than we having to, kind of need the music going. I feel like you're somebody that usually has like headphones in, right? Or there's always like something playing. But lately you've just kind of, no, I just want quiet, Let's see what else is going on here, okay? This is a time for us to emerge from our hermit mode. Well, we've got a 9 of Wands. You've got the pressure cooker, yeah. The art card, temperance card. Wheel of Fortune. 7 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Swords. Over here we have a 7 of Cups. 4 of Wands, 4 of Cups, and the Fool. Yes, okay, so I feel this is really nice. I know we got scared, right, when we saw these cards, the 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, 3 of Swords. To me, it feels like you are spending intentional time in this sort of purging phase of your life. The Hermit kind of sequesters itself in order to do this interior work. I think you've been dealing with a lot of issues. You've been dealing with a lot of your own challenges, okay? Which is kind of like we don't want distractions. We're trying to work on something and reach a conclusion or reach some kind of a completion, a finish or something, right? And then the Fool kind of emerges from hermit mode, and this is the end result. This is the long-term result here, right? So you've been processing something. Yeah, you've been keeping yourself in the pressure cooker. You've been putting a lot of, maybe this is really like you've been putting a lot of pressure on yourself to complete something. And so with that, we're kind of like, we're trying to recognize the ways that we may be hindering our own progress. The way like we might need to bring in some of our energy and apply it to whatever this work is, rather than letting some of our energy dissipate into all these other things, distractions, right? Ego desires and that sort of thing, right? So I feel like there's a real strength in you, and we're trying to cultivate that in order to bring about this 4 of Wands, this completion, the finishing of a cycle. Okay. Very interesting energy here. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Whoop. There's a 10 of swords that volunteered. All right, so this is an intense period of time for you. But our mystery card is going to go right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. Yeah, it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction down in the comments, okay? Now let's look around the room. We do see a lot of major arcana energies. We see the Wheel of Fortune, the Hermit. We see the Art or Temperance card. We see the Fool. We got fire and fire, water and water. We have air and now another air. And we have our earth energy at the top there. Okay. So let's start with the Nine of Wands. The Hermit and the Nine of Wands. Right now you're in a period of introspection, a period of interior work, a period of, more meditation or contemplation. You're doing the inner work. Okay. And the result of that is, I think, a strength. You're building up this willpower. You are cultivating something inside of yourself that's going to allow you to break free from whatever's been holding you back. Okay. The thing that we need right now is this strength. We need to realize that there is a purpose in this. I know right now it may be a very difficult time. You may be going through a lot of emotions, a lot of memories, a lot of history, a lot of stuff from the past. Okay? I think we're in a mode of purging or integrating or assimilating a lot of those events from our history. Okay? It is that really intense time of introspection, and I think like decluttering our lives. And the obstacle here is strength. The thing that's going to make it tough for you is that it's a tough thing. So the strength really is what we need right now. And when we're very connected with our purpose, it gives us the strength, the stamina, the commitment. Okay, and whatever you're going through right now, you need the strength to get through this. Because what we see as your long-term outcome is freedom, is transcendence. Okay, it really is this refreshing, and this is a spring energy too, right? It is a very refreshing thing that's going on, okay? Your long-term outcome. So I wonder if right now we're making that transition from hermit mode to fool mode, from sequestering ourselves, isolating, doing the interior work, the introspection, the introversion. We're making the transition then to full-on outgoing summertime, let's have fun, let's be free of all this baggage, and it really is sometimes the strength. I think that you have gone on an inner quest, and it's going to take a lot of strength to pull yourself out of this now. But I think you're coming to the end of the cycle. Yeah. Now, down beneath the surface, we have, of course, the Art or Temperance card. This is the pressure cooker. You're somebody who, I think you tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself. You tend to take things quite seriously at times. Very different from the Fool, right? The Fool and the Hermit are very different energies. But I think that when you're focused on something, when you have a mission, when you have work to do, you do it. And you don't like the pressure, but you know that the pressure is molding you into who you need to become. Okay, so you're in the middle of this difficult period of time, whether it's some spiritual work, whether it's mental or emotional work, whether it's physical work, maybe it's employment work, whatever it is. I think that it has required that you suspend your joy a little bit. It requires that you sort of put off the pleasures of life for another day because you're very focused on something, right? You're kind of working overtime here, and this is the pressure cooker. This is the blacksmith's anvil. I think that you have been molding yourself into who you really truly want to become. And, I think that when we get through this 7, and the 3 here, we'll come to the completion of this cycle, and we will emerge free from this, right? So I feel like this is the process of dealing with something from the past. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune in the past position. Okay? And this could be a lot of things in your recent past. This could be a series of things, a series of kind of unfortunate things in life. This could be specifically the feeling that we were at the top of the wheel and then something happened and we got back down to the bottom of the wheel. Okay? And maybe we're trying to deal with this kind of a twist of fate, an unfortunate turn of events that happened in the recent past. We're trying to recover from that. We're dealing with the failure, the sorrow, trying to pull ourselves out of the mud, right? And trying to keep in mind that this situation is making you stronger. And if you pull yourself out of this, you will be, this is someone who's free from the mud. Right now, maybe we feel like we're stuck in that mud. The Fool has gotten free of that and is ready to start again, is ready to transcend, is ready to start fresh, right? So I feel like we're dealing with something that's really, it feels like something happened to you that wasn't in your control, okay? Nevertheless, you feel responsible for it. Through some, turn of events, things didn't work out the way you wanted them to. It wasn't anything you could have done to prevent it or to make it sort of turn out differently. But nevertheless, you feel like I should have done something. I could have, fixed it or prevented it, right? Spirit's saying that, no, you couldn't. This was something that was going to happen regardless of what you did. Nothing you could have done would have changed this fact, okay? That the situation turned, okay? Things didn't really go your way in this thing. With the pressure cooker underneath the surface here, it is almost like an unconscious tendency that you have to be very hard on yourself, to put that kind of pressure on yourself that says, I should have fixed it, maybe I can fix it, maybe, maybe there's something that I can still do. I feel like this is something that we're having to sort of accept and be at peace with and let it go so we can be free of this and we can either start over or we can transcend or we can move on, whatever the Fool is ready to do, It could be the loss of something. It could be a relationship. The Seven of Pentacles is right above you here. And I feel like that's what we're consciously looking at. And this is a card of failure. Okay? We're kind of feeling this as a big F failure. It almost feels as if you think of yourself as a failure. That this is affecting your image of yourself. Okay? So I think that the Hermit really is trying to deal with all of these feelings, dealing with the realities of the situation, dealing with the effects of fate, right? Fate are those things that happen to us that we couldn't have prevented. Okay? And it's not something that we can undo. It's not something that we could have prevented, or it's not something we can fix. It's something that we have to try to just get through as quickly and as easily as possible and not make it worse on ourselves, right? Maybe the Temperance card, the art card here is, maybe we are sort of making it worse for ourselves. Fate is something that happens to you that the only thing we can do is try to minimize the effects, minimize the sort of the painful aspect of it, and try to get through as unscarred as possible. Okay. The Seven of Pentacles is something that should have borne fruit, but it did not. It was not anything you could have done. It's like you planted a bunch of seeds, you watered them, you gave them love, you gave them soil and sunlight. They didn't grow. Nothing you could have done. I could have gave them more water. No, you gave them the perfect amount of water. You gave them the right amount of love. You did everything that you could. Okay. But these are the little F failures that should teach us something and say, okay, you know what, this is something, this happened. I need to learn a lesson. I need to move on, right? But sometimes these failures loom very large in our lives and we start thinking like, I'm a failure, right? We start identifying with that sort of, undesirable outcome. You start feeling like we're the cause of it, And it may be that you feel as if you've had a string of bad luck in your life, and, that does not mean that you are the cause of it. You are not bad luck. You are not the unfortunate events that happen. Okay? So the strength that we need right now is to pull ourselves out of the hermit mode and accept this, face how we feel. Now in the future position, you got the Three of Swords. The future position, we're going to have to realize that this is something that was inevitable. This is something that happened in life. Okay? And now nobody's trying to tell you how to grieve or how to suffer, right? Nobody's going to tell you that you have to hurry up and finish it. And I think that's something that bugs you. You don't want people to tell you, oh, just be happy. Just hurry up and get over it. Just get over it, right? No. Going forward, you have to go forward. This is you in the future position facing the reality, but this is also a card of forgiveness. Okay, we got the 3 here, but we're trying to get to these 4s, and we're trying to get this freedom of the Fool. We're trying to pull ourselves out of this mud. Okay. So this is the way forward for you, and it's straight through the feelings. Not going around them, not trying to ignore them, certainly not pushing them down underneath the surface, trying to make them something else, saying, no, this sucks. It does not feel good. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. But what we can't do is allow these swords to multiply and become that 10 of Swords, where we just completely give up on whatever the life is that we're trying to build, whatever your work is or your project or, any of this stuff. So I feel as if there has been a kind of a purging of life. I feel like there's been it feels like a series of events. It feels like there was a cascade of things. One thing happened, and then a bunch of other things happened. It's like bad things just seem to happen all at once, in like a cluster. And so it could be then we just kind of, we find ourselves like alone, like a lot of things happened. Maybe people left your life, there was a breakup, maybe the job, maybe the family, whatever. Like a lot of things happen at once, and we just kind of feel like we're all alone here, And I think that there is a lot of good things in store for you moving forward. Okay, it's an amazing change going from hermit to that Fool, because the hermit is saying, okay, I'm ready to throw off this cloak of invisibility. I'm ready to say, hey world, here I am. Ready to let my freak flag fly, right? Ready to be out there and extroverted and outgoing and socializing, and we're emerging from this hermit mode. Okay, maybe this is a business thing, maybe this is an art project or something that didn't work out, and we have to go through the sorrow of it. Okay, we can't just decide, I'm just going to be happy. Well, we have to feel bad. We have to let the tears flow. We have to process. We have to forgive. We have to have that cathartic experience if we're going to be free of this, if we're going to feel like we can get unstuck from this mud here. Okay, now let's talk about the path of the serpent. Because this, we know what this is. We don't like this, but you're strong enough to get through it. Okay? And that's what we're doing. We're getting through it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, by the way, please do. These readings are totally free. Your general energy is the 7 of Cups. You realize what this toxic negative energy is doing to you. It's weighing you down. I feel like this is the card that says enough is enough. I don't want it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to throw off this cloak of the hermit, this cloak of isolation or depression or disillusionment. I'm ready. I'm ready to wash this stuff off of me, right? We need some cleansing waters here. Okay, this is real sticky, tacky substance, right? That just weighs us down, makes us feel icky. It's a swamp. It's a mud pit. Okay, and I believe this is kind of how you've been feeling lately. This is the card in your general energy. But I think that this is important because this card is kind of about recognizing those things in life that aren't serving our needs anymore. We're recognizing those things in our life that are making us feel worse and not better, right? So when I say spring cleaning or like we're decluttering our house, it's not just random stuff we're just trying to throw everything away. No, we're realizing that there are things around us that are either reminders of the past or that are almost power objects or talismans of this negative vibrational energy. It's very low vibratory, the objects, and we're getting rid of those. We're throwing away stuff that is kind of like, it's our kryptonite. This is us recognizing that maybe some of the things we thought were good are not good for us. Okay, this is, to me, this feels like a wake up. It feels like a confidence. It feels like we have found our 9 of Wands. We found our strength, and we say, no, I'm getting rid of all this stuff. Maybe you have a lot of reminders, a lot of memories, right, about these things that have happened. And the 3 of Swords is a card of memory too, by the way. Okay? And maybe by consciously acknowledging these things, they won't just sort of dive into the unconscious and end up ruining our lives down here. We got to bring the unconscious conscious. And we've got to feel the feelings. We have to be able to identify those things within us and around us in our life that are acting as that kind of kryptonite, And so that, to me, that's the 7 of Wands. We're finding those things in life that are harming us more than helping us, and we're ready to purge, we're ready to wash that stuff away. And the 4 of Wands is kind of like that too. It's a Venus and Aries energy. It's in the position of your environment. I feel like this is the removal of toxic elements in your life. This is the addition of positive elements in your life. You're getting rid of negative energy. You're bringing in positive energy. You're bringing in love. You're bringing in better relationships, better people. You're fortifying and strengthening those bonds with people that are quality people that you want to have in your life. You're surrounding yourself with images that inspire you. You're putting your art on the walls. You're playing the music. You're putting the flowers in your room. You're burning the incense that you want that are going to make you feel love and inspiration, that are cleansing energies for you. Right? Again, getting rid of the toxic and negative and bringing in the good. So in a way, we're sort of redecorating our lives. We're decluttering, we're purging, we're having the spring cleaning, and then we're bringing in the fresh flowers and the love and the good vibrations, the high vibrations. Yeah. I always call this card the redecorating card, where we're ready to begin a new cycle in our lives, and that's what we got to do. Purge the old, bring in the new, bring in the good. What's the vibe? What's the current for this season now for you? Right, we're going to bring in fresh flowers, different kinds of incense, different kind of colors, a different musical kind of vibe. Like, we're going to cultivate the vibe that we want. First, we got to get rid of the old vibe and bring in the new vibe. Okay, this is also the card of completion. So to me, this is like we're ready to start a new season in our life. The Hermit season is over. We're ready for the Fool season. It's Fool time now, right? So I love this. I think this reading is really amazing. I think the change here is extraordinary. The Four of Cups is interesting too, because this is a card of sort of wallowing in something, right? It's a card of luxury. It's like, well, my bed is so cozy, I don't want to get out of bed. And sometimes when we're in this hermit mode, the Four of Cups just feels like, I'm just going to stay here and wallow in these memories, wallow in this sort of state of things, right? Because it's become comfortable, because it's become familiar. This is the card of the safe harbor, where we've taken our sailboat and we've anchored it, we've moored it somewhere, right? And we kind of don't want to sail again because we feel like I'm just going to get hurt again. Sometimes this is a closed heart chakra. This is saying, I'm not going to take any risks. I'm not going to go sail my boat. I'm not going to go out there in life anymore. I don't want to do it. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here where it's safe. Yeah, it might be icky, but it's safe, right? So this is the card of the obstacle. The obstacle is our inertia. And that's why we need this tremendous strength to overcome the inertia of the emotions here that just say, yeah, I don't like being here, but being here is better than going out and trying again and having this happen again. You know, how do you avoid your boat capsizing? Well, you don't put it in the water. How do you avoid, being caught in a terrible storm? Well, don't go outside. Okay? And that's what this card is, saying, well, I don't want to get hurt, therefore I'm not going to go out and get to know anybody. Simple solution, right? So I feel like this is that inertia that we have to overcome. And once we do, the Fool is free. The Fool is, we're ready. We're cultivating that good spring vibe, And I think it's the beginning of a new season. We're going from Hermit season to Fool season. It's no longer hermit time, it's Fool time now. Yeah. And to me, it feels really good. I want to look at the mystery card. I want to see if that's going to be some good water energy, right? We need the cleansing water. Will it be an Ace of Cups? Now, we could be talking about a lot of things. And I think it's a series of things that seem to happen all at once. Okay? It was kind of a bad season, but let's close this season out. And I don't think it has to correspond with with spring and summer and autumn and winter, like that sort of thing. Not exactly. It's our own personal seasons and cycles. And I think at any moment we can say, this season is over. I'm ready to start the new season. So let's see some love. Let's see a season of love and prosperity. Maybe another Wheel of Fortune. Let's see. 9 of Wands, a season of strength. And I think that the way we have another 9, right? And I think that this is, in one sense, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger, right? I think this is realizing that we have the strength, that we have this ability to call a season anytime we want. Anytime we want, we can stand up and say, this season of my life, done. Today's the day. I'm going to clean out all the garbage, and I'm going to bring in all the fresh flowers or whatever music. We can initiate that anytime we want. We can put an end to this anytime we want. So there's a real strength in you. This is a willpower. This is a resilience. Okay? This is kind of that acknowledgement that, look, this wasn't the end of the path. This was one season. Now it's time to start the next one. Things continue. Life goes on, right? The cycles continue. So I think the 9 of Wands is a very good card to get. I think this is a strong activation of your ability to say when enough is enough. This is your ability to say, I'm done with this old stuff. I'm going to bring in the new stuff. Yeah. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn, Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.